All right. Hello everybody. Dan in Research here with yet another video. So today we're gonna talk about China. We're gonna talk about Europe and the US and what are the implications of the latest data released. Okay? So this video is gonna be packed with much economic data and a lot of insights and analysis that's gonna help you to make the best decision possible and stay in touch with the latest developments and what is to come in the future. Right, so the biggest news yesterday, China started stimulating. Well, as you probably guys know, China has been experiencing bad deflation for the past year or so, right? So this is very bad. Deflation is very bad for the economy. And um, the thing is, China needed to start increasing their consumers' ability to spend quite a while ago, but they didn't, right? They're very conservative. And in the past, when China has started stimulating, it has not ended well. Okay, so even though they start stimulating, it has not ended well most of the times. And you also have to keep in mind that I personally, and this is my personal opinion, think that this is not going to be able to save the Chinese economy. Nevertheless, once they started stimulating, their index surged over 4% in one day. Okay, and um, then this surge pretty much transition over to the European and the US markets. Right. Okay. So now let us go over the data that we've had this week. As you guys see here, we had the French PMI, the German PMI, the overall European PMI, and Britain as well as the US. Right. Okay, let's start chronologically here, guys. Um, let's quickly go over France's PMIs. What do we have here? Well, it was a miss. First of all, it was a miss, right? A big miss. It was expected for services to be over 50, and you guys know that over 50 is expansionary, and below 50 it is contractionary, right? So what does it say? The French economy suffers post-Olympic slump in September. So it was expected, and this was baked into the expectations, that France is going to have a boost because of the Olympic Games. Well, the boost was not that great, okay? It was a disappointment, okay? After a strong services-led expansion in August, France's private sector economy slipped back into decline at the end of the third quarter. Business activity fell at the fastest pace since January, amid an accelerated contraction in new orders, which was attributed to slowing market condition and a shrinkage in customer numbers. Not great. Backlogs of work decreased at the quickest rate since last November. Right, not great. Now let's go to Germany. Germany. The weakest link in the EU right now. Look at this. German economy sinks deeper into contraction, dragged down by manufacturing sector. This is a horrible report. Yeah, look at this. Business activity in the country fell at the quickest rate for 7 months, with a sharp and accelerated reduction in manufacturing production. Near stalling of growth in the service sector. Business expectations turned pessimistic for the first time in a year. Right? So, without going into too much detail of the rest of the report, as you guys can see, this is a very bad report of the two biggest economies in the EU. But what about the overall PMIs for the whole of Europe? This is right here. Where's the? Yep. Business activity decreases for the first time in 7 months. So it's not just the two biggest economies, it's the overall Eurozone. Renowned decline in business activity. Not great. Not great. Like, there are some economies that are growing, and I saw like a statistics of all the countries yesterday, um, that showed which ones were in contraction. So there are some economies that are doing pretty good, the likes of Italy and Greece, right? But the biggest economies are not doing great. So now you might ask yourself, why isn't the ECB, the Central Bank of Europe, doing more? Why aren't they cutting more? Well, you can explain this very, very simply. The Federal Reserve of the US, right, has a dual mandate. So they have to keep inflation in check as well as the labor market and unemployment in check as well. So they have to balance those two out, and they act on both of those. The ECB, however, in Europe, they only have one mandate, and this is inflation. So they don't really care about the labor side. And so when you think about it this way, even though they should cut more, right, because of the recessionary trends that are very, very worrying, and as you guys are going to see in just a bit, I also have some more data for Europe for you as well. They don't have the mandate to do it. They're not required to do it, okay? Right. Right. All right. Then, the day after, which is yesterday, we got the German EFO business climate. I have it downloaded right here. Look at this. It was a miss. Let me just show you the miss right here. Okay, look at this. Sentiment has once again deteriorated companies in Germany. Right? The fourth decline in a row. Companies were less satisfied with the current business situation. Outlook for the coming months continues to decline. German economy coming under ever increasing pressure. And guys, this type of data has been consistent in Europe, right? The US economy has been more consistent in its growth trajectory. However, this is also declining in the US as well, right? So I have been very closely monitoring European data as I live in Europe, right? It is only logical. However, this is a global economy, so everything is interconnected. So I have been predicting a recession for quite some time. Let's see if we're gonna get it, or if the central banks are gonna be able to avoid this. And I'm not very optimistic about that, but let's see. Might as well be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Nobody wants a recession, right? And look at this. Manufacturing index fell to its lowest level since June of 2020. Companies assess their situation to be significantly poorer. Expectations significantly more pessimistic. Lack of orders has intensified. Core sectors of German industry are struggling. As you guys know, Volkswagen, they are shutting down factories in Germany rapidly. And this has never happened in history, I think. For a German manufacturer to be shutting down in its own country. And if you guys look at the automotive sector in Europe, all of the big players are down in the double digits since the beginning of the year. So don't just look at the Nvidias, don't just look at the Apples. Look at the broader economy. Look at the data. This is the data right here. The data is not Dogecoin, the data is not Nvidia, okay? Just keep this in mind. Service sector, business climate, decline, less satisfied, right? So look at the trend. Just look at the trend, guys. It's clear. It's clear. Okay. Moving on. The biggest data after that in the US, consumer confidence, manufacturing index. Both of those missed. Missed big. Very, very bad data. And let me just tell you what happened in the market once the data hit. Somewhere, yeah, somewhere around here. It was somewhere around here. So once the data hit, we had a sell-off. The Qs were down significantly. But then what happened? Mainstream media flipped the switch. They started saying, no, this is okay, this is not bad. China is starting to pump. China is starting to print. China is gonna save the economy. Well, once that happened, all the algos, all the retailers, all of them started buying the dip, right? Everybody started buying. And what happened? We saw a bump, right? However, when you think about it, China is not that great because this is also inflationary. Think about it this way, right? This is also inflationary for China to start loosening right now. They could have started loosening before, but no, they started loosening now, which is gonna be bad for the US economy. Right? Well, of course, this is just a speculation. All of those events are ongoing, so we do not know how this is going to turn out. Right? We can make a projection, but we don't really know how it is going to turn out, like this specific catalyst in itself. Right? We also have Japan. They're tightening while the whole world is loosening. Right? All of those catalysts, everything. So something is going to break. We just don't know when, we just don't know what. We can guess. We can have an educated guess based on the data. And just look at the price action of the SPY. We had the cut, rally, and here, this is really what indecision looks like. See, all of those days, indecision candles. This is a doji candle right here. So if we were to see downside, we do not want to see a close above this level. However, this is indecision. The market is wondering what is it that is gonna happen. What is gonna happen? Okay, but if you look at the mainstream media, everything is great. Okay, yeah, that's what they want you to think, right? Nobody wants you to think that there's something wrong, because if people start selling, a recession is gonna happen. It's gonna be self-fulfilled. I've already talked about this, but anyways, I went off topic here. Now let's just look at the data. Manufacturing activity in the US remains sluggish. Okay, look at this. The trend clearly down, not looking great. This is recessionary. This is recessionary, right? Then consumer confidence, miss. Okay. Look at this. We're nearing the COVID lows. Not really, but the trend is clear here again, right? Going down, consumer confidence. And then something very worrying. Despite slower inflation and declines in some goods prices, average 12-month inflation expectation increased to 5.2% in September. This is very bad. So not only are consumers less confident about the economy, but they're also worried about inflation. And as you guys know, inflation expectation is what drives the inflation. Right? So we are seeing the cracks in the US economy as well. But if you compare this to Europe, Europe is way worse for now. Right? So guys, this is it. This has been a bit of a longer video, but as I wanted to concentrate on Europe, and I've never talked about Europe in this channel, I've decided to, drag it a bit more, make it a bit of a longer video. I hope you guys are not bored, and if you guys made it up so far into this video, please subscribe, like the video, you support the channel. And if you guys want to have more videos, more informative videos to keep you posted and keep you above everybody else, above the mainstream media, do not forget to subscribe. Leave a comment, and thank you guys. See you in the next one.